everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. So let's talk about speaking English. Who hasn't felt that, that little knot of nerves, maybe when you're meeting someone new or you just need to speak up, that feeling where the words just kind of disappear. It's totally normal, right? But today, we're diving headfirst into some really interesting research for you. We're looking for those shortcuts, the practical ways to feel genuinely more comfortable and confident.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're aiming for in this deep dive. We've basically boiled it down to 5 really actionable tips, backed by the research, of course. These are designed to help you actually be more confident, not just, feel it temporarily. It's less about just trying harder and more about, specific shifts that really work.
Okay, let's get into it then. This path to confidence. Our first big takeaway from the sources, it might sound a bit backward at first, it's this. When you're starting, don't aim for really complex English straight away.
Right. It seems simple, but there's a solid reason behind it. The sources really stress focusing on simple, everyday sentences. Things like, how are you? Or maybe I like this food. Basic stuff. Think of them as easy wins. Every time you say one and it works, your brain gets a little reward, a little confidence boost.
Ah, okay. So it's like building momentum with small successes.
Exactly. You're building this foundation, slowly but surely. It's much better than, tackling some huge complex sentence, messing it up, and then feeling discouraged.
That makes sense. So once you've got those small wins building up, what comes next? Because confidence, as you said, it isn't just something that appears overnight. Our research really hammered that home.
Not at all. Consistency is absolutely crucial. That's the thread running through all the research. It really is about showing up day after day. And it's not just about practicing. The sources talk about how actually speaking regularly changes how your brain works. It rewires things.
Like exercise for your language brain.
Sort of, yeah. The more you use those language pathways, the smoother they get. So talking to yourself in the mirror, ordering coffee, just small daily acts. It turns that awkward feeling into something more automatic, more natural.
Okay, but what about the fear? For so many people, myself included sometimes, just the thought of making a mistake is enough to make you clam up. What did our deep dive find about that?
Oh yeah, that's a huge barrier. And honestly, what we found is pretty liberating. Making mistakes. It's completely normal. Expected even. One source actually called it the fastest path to fluency.
Really, the fastest path?
Yeah. It's not about avoiding them. It's about what you learn from them. See, your brain often learns better when it had to correct something. Each mistake is like feedback. It shows you exactly what needs adjusting. So the learning sticks better than if you just, passively absorbed everything perfectly. The advice is basically just speak. Speak freely. Because, like one study said, the more mistakes you make, the more you learn.
Wow. Okay, so it's about progress, not being perfect.
Precisely. Which really leads to the question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you actually get comfortable with making those mistakes? How do you shift that mindset?
Right, that internal voice. And that actually brings us perfectly to our next point, self-talk.
Yeah.
How much does what we tell ourselves impact our confidence?
Oh, immensely. More than most of us probably realize. The research is clear. Negative self-talk, things like, I'm too shy, or I just can't do this. It kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It holds you back.
So you have to consciously change that narrative.
Exactly. You actively replace those thoughts with positive affirmations. Try telling yourself things like, okay, I'm learning, or I'm getting a little better every single day. And this isn't just, positive thinking fluff. Psychologists call it cognitive restructuring.
Cognitive restructuring.
Yeah, you're literally changing those internal scripts. Priming your brain to see challenges differently. It boosts your ability to adapt, and as one expert put it, it gives you the power to actually act and get better.
Interesting. Okay, and the final piece of this confidence puzzle. This one sounds kind of fun, actually. Just surround yourself with English.
Absolutely. Think of it less like hard study and more like just living with the language a bit more. Our sources show that this kind of passive exposure, watching English shows, maybe with subtitles on, listening to English songs, reading short articles online, even just having the radio on in the background sometimes. It all helps. It's called comprehensible input. Your brain is always picking things up, patterns, words, even subconsciously.
So just hearing it daily makes it feel less foreign.
Exactly. It starts to feel more familiar, more natural, and that automatically boosts your confidence because it's just part of your environment.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main idea from all these sources then. Confidence, especially in speaking English, it's not really about achieving perfection, is it? It's more about persistent effort, taking those small steps, trying, maybe stumbling, but trying again. It's a process.
Yeah.
The core message seems to be speak, smile, and stay strong. Keep at it.
Absolutely. You really are doing great just by engaging with it. The key is simply not to stop. What's really striking from our deep dive is how these small, consistent actions, they really add up. They compound over time into real confidence. So maybe the question to leave you with is this. Knowing all this now, what's just one small, consistent thing you can start doing, maybe even today, to begin building your speaking confidence?